everybody, and welcome to EdTech Chat and Chew number 33. 33. There it is, 33. I said 2, but it's 33. And I'm Diane Smokorowski, coming to you from Andover, Kansas. With me is
Micah Brown
and
Mike Soskell from Pennsylvania.
Yes, and today we're going to be talking about World Read Aloud Day, because we know March 2nd is Read Across America Day, but we're global. Yeah, so we're going to branch out just a little bit and talk about World Read Aloud Day, which is what day, Mike?
March 4th, I believe, although don't quote me on that. I'm not positive. Is that right?
It's March 4th.
I've said March 4th, and then other people have told me I'm wrong, that it was the 3rd, that it was the 5th, so we'll just average it and go with number 4.
It's number 4. We're going to go down the middle. And basically the concept of this is not only having kids read, but read to each other. So we're going to be sharing with you today some ways that you can take global opportunities with World Read Aloud Day and some new tools perhaps to you on how you can make all this pretty awesome. But Mike, I think your project that you've been working with Beverly Ladd, yes, is pretty incredible. Share
Yes, we're very excited, and actually people that are participating got their email today matching them up with their partner classes. So what we did is Beverly came to me and asked me to help her set up a Skype lesson that we put on Skype in the classroom, where we had teachers from all over the world sign up to participate. And the idea is that we're going to match up classes. Those classes got matched up today. So if you have a class, your class will choose a picture book to read aloud via a Skype call to a class in a different location. They will then read you a picture book in return, and then there'll be a question and answer session afterwards where your kids can learn about whatever it is they want to learn about. So maybe you want to learn about the geography of the location you're connecting with, or what animals are there, or what they have for breakfast in the morning, or any of those kind of cultural things that you want to do a question and answer session with after you read aloud. You can do, and the idea is to not only get kids to practice their reading, but also give them an experience where they get to learn about kids in a different location.
Well, that's pretty incredible, actually. And I love the fact that you've got 64 different classrooms that are all dialed in to be a part of this. And you have how many continents?
64 classes on 5 different continents, and we have everywhere from Michigan to Mauritius to Australia and Austria to Arkansas. It really is a global project.
And do you have any in different languages happening?
All of the read alouds are going to be done in English, just because that seems to be the language that's easiest for people to connect. We didn't ask people what their language is to connect them. We just said it was an English lesson this time.
Oh, that works. That works out really well. Yeah. And what's really great about your project is that you not only shared that in Skype in the classroom, but you sent it out through Twitter, and people started retweeting it. So if you know friends of friends of friends, they'll come sign up.
Yeah, and actually, if anyone's interested in, well, 2 things. One, if anyone's interested in following the project and seeing the amazing things that are happening, the project does have its own hashtag. So if you're on Twitter, it's hashtag WRAD Skype for World Read Aloud Day Skype. And if you're watching this broadcast now and you say, wow, that's an awesome opportunity, I really wish I would have been able to take part in it. It is too late to sign up for our activity, but there's nothing stopping you from putting your own Skype in the Classroom lesson on and asking other people to connect with your class. You could do the same exact activity. You just have to set it up on your own, and it's not hard to do.
Perfect, perfect. And Micah, what are some things that you're thinking about for World Read Aloud Day?
Well, Mike, you mentioned, setting up your own lesson, and just a different activity that you could do is I love the I'll Read to You, Read to Me books by Mary Ann Hoberman. They're great 2-person or 2-character stories that you can connect with the class. So my class reads one part, your class reads the other. So that's kind of a fun activity to do. Also had some new tools that we'd like to share that you can use maybe during one of those calls or just in your own classroom. First up, we have Epic. Epic is for the iPad, and it's free for educators. I like free. Do you like free?
Yes, in my price range.
Free is awesome.
Free's my favorite price.
Yay! Okay, so we have Epic app, and like I said, it's for the iPad, and you can read. It's for ages, 6 to 8, I would say. And there's read aloud books on there. There's picture books, and it gives the kids their own account. And, oh, there it is, okay? So you would go to getepic.com/educators. That's how you're going to get it for free. And it's basically kind of like Netflix for books
Mhm.
on the iPad. And so that's a great, great little tool to sign up for.
And once you get in, there are hundreds of books in here to pick from. So if you had 2 classes using that same tool, you both could have copies of it with iPads. Sorry, you had in your own little space reading, and then the other side could read as well and turn the pages and do it all together.
And great variety of fiction, nonfiction, comic books. It's a great collection.
Definitely, and it definitely elementary level kind of pieces.
Yes.
But super fun. It's like a whole new library coming into your classroom for free.
Yeah, and you mentioned it's for elementary, but we've also had a lot of success having secondary students or middle school students read to our younger kids. So that would be a perfect tool for that to happen also.
Most definitely, because they can even do that on their phones and read that there. So perfect. One thing that I do when I dial in and talk with my friends at Cheery is I use Chrome, and as one of the Chrome apps is the Kindle Reader app. So I will purchase e-books of children's literature because all the photos and everything are in it, the illustrations, and then I do a screen share on Skype and actually turn the pages and read to the children there. The last time I did a call, they were all outside huddled around one computer, and I was reading with them. And it was Tiki Tiki Tembo is the book, so it's a great piece where you learn the patterns. I would start it, and then they would read it aloud on that end as well. And just super, super easy to do, that's how you did the poem or the songs in 2 voices last year.
Yes, the read to me, read to you. Yep, the screen share.
So both sides could see it all at the same time. So it's a really easy tool to use. Micah, you also wanted to share something called Storybots.
Yes, our other friend Karen, who couldn't make it today, she's the one who introduced me. I had known of the tool, but she introduced how to get it for free for educators.
All right.
And it's storybot.com.
I have all these ready. Sorry. Keep going. Storybot.com does what?
And we're going to scroll all the way to the bottom. And what's cool is Storybot is probably aimed more, I would say, pre-K through 2nd grade-ish. And it has different books and things, learning videos. And what's cool about this app is the kids can put their heads in it. They get to be a part of the story. And that can be on iPad. It can be on the computer. Storybots is a neat app.
Cool. Well, it didn't want to play nice today, but there's that one.
Try. Is it storybots.com with an S?
Storybot.
Yeah. Try bots with an S. That's what Karen had typed in our chat before. See if that.
But I like the idea that children actually get to be interactive with the learning, which is awesome. Absolutely around. Okay, let's see if we can pull this up real quickly for our audience here. So here are Storybots. You can put in the name. I'll be a girl. Go next. Take a photo. Get this to pop in there. And, oh, look.
That's cute.
I have my Storybot. And then you can get in there and start playing.
Yes.
That's awesome.
Very cool. Another tool that we wanted to share with everyone today is the Skype in the Classroom guest speaker for authors and storytellers and screenwriters to connect. When you get to the website, you're going to click Find a Guest Speaker, and this is just at Skype in the Classroom. Just like we've seen before, it's going to find where you are first, and we're in Kansas. Then it says, what grade levels do you work with? Well, I'm going to choose them all to make it, well, I guess you get to choose one. So we'll go that grade. And what days of the week work best for you? So if you've got PE and music in the morning on Thursdays and Tuesdays, you can just turn those sections off. Hit next. And basically, Skype is pulling in all of these authors that work well for your age range. Right now, I've got 49 of them. And we have authors. Here's young adult authors, and then storyteller. Now, how wonderful would it be to have your children listen to a professional storyteller? And notice it will say the time zone. So I need to think about, hey, if you are connecting with us, I'm in Kansas, you're in California, we'll need to figure out the time zone issues. But if you are registered here at Skype in the Classroom, all you have to do is just click on the people that you're interested in. Now, that was an editor for book publishing. That's interesting. You get some writers coming together, picture book, and then I can send a request. Tell a little bit, my class is this age, what, you know, we're second, third grade, whoever it may be. These are the times specifically that I'd like to have, and if we have dates that work best for us, then I would mark that as well and hit send. Skype will send the message out, and then they will come and talk to you directly. So it's kind of the easy button to connect with authors for free.
Yeah, and you know, that's one of the things that, I mean, Skype in the classroom does a lot of things really well, but the author calls that we've had have been some of the best. I mean, you know, authors know, I mean, like you said, they know how to tell stories, they know how to build a narrative, and that's what gets kids really interested in the lesson. So, you know, I would highly recommend, you know, that tool is amazing, but just Skype calls with authors in general are pretty great.
Agreed, especially since Penguin Books has a partnership with Skype in the Classroom. And they have over 30 different authors and illustrators who will dial in. Some have already bookmarked March 4th for the World Read Aloud Day to read some of their works to our students. So that's pretty awesome, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Especially when, as a language arts teacher, they talk about how many drafts that they have to go through before they actually publish a book. And I have a hard time getting students to make more than one draft of a paper. So if they hear that it takes 6, 7, 8 edits before they come up with even a good chapter, then it's, so Mrs. Smoke meant it. You need to edit. It kind of comes down the line that way. But definitely there are many, many options available coming up from March 4th and beyond. Connect with these people and make great things happen for your kids. Anything else that you're thinking of, Mike, that comes to mind?
No, nothing else for World Read Aloud Day that I can think of, but I did want to point out we've discussed our next show next week is going to be a episode where we talk about Pi Day, and I'm going to have a really great Skype in the Classroom lesson that I'm going to launch for that show. So now that I've said it, I have a week to put it together and make sure that it's ready. But you know, this is the Pi Day of the century coming up. You know, so we all know Pi Day 3.14 for 3.14 is pi. But you know, we've got 3.1415 at 9:50 something in the morning. Right, is going to be like the pi moment. You know, all of those digits of pi lining up. So this is really a big one, and we're going to tell you some different ways that you can get your students involved in Pi Day coming up on the 14th of March.
I think it's going to be an awesome month. And I love the fact that we're branching Pi Day away from just middle and high school math. You know, that we're bringing it in all areas of learning.
Well, I can tell you as an elementary math teacher, it was always my favorite day. So. I mean,
everything.
Right. I mean, you know, when you get kids bringing in pi, you know, and then doing math activities with it, there's really not a whole lot that's better than that. That's, you know, that's about the pinnacle of what you get as an elementary math teacher.
Well, and speaking of pie, it is time to decide what we're having for lunch. So what are we having for lunch today, Mike?
Well, I mentioned, I don't think either of you ladies were in our last call when I talked about the Founding Farmers Cookbook that my wife brought home from Washington, D.C. a couple years ago. Well, you know, she made some incredible recipes out there, and she pulled another one out over the weekend, and it was a chicken bolognese sauce over pasta. I don't even know the name of the pasta, but it was like a hollow inside, so it was like spaghetti that's hollow, and it had a, what is it?
Ziti.
No. It's like big, long, like spaghetti. It's like a long spaghetti that's thin.
But it's
I don't remember. It's got one of those Italian-sounding names. But anyway, it's a fettuccine sauce on top of it that was just amazing by itself. But then on top of it was a chicken red sauce. It's incredible. I can go on and on, but it was just one of the best things I've ever eaten.
Because we'll probably do something like Subway.
Probably.
It was better than Subway, I promise.
You definitely would. One last thing, big shout out to the 2015 State Teachers of the Year. I had a chance to meet with them this weekend in Phoenix where it was 80 degrees. Much, much warmer, but it was pretty electric to be with this new group of people about to change the world. So for those of us who may be new friends to the EdTech Chat and Chew group, cyber high five to our new friends there. And until then, I guess we'll see you next week.
All right. Bye, everyone.
All right. See ya.